doing out there? Hopefully everybody's doing sensational. Welcome to another episode of Generational Health and Self-Love. I'm your host, Life.
Ron Easy. And today, guys, we're going to be talking about veganism and myths that people have about the lifestyle of vegans and what comes with being vegan and just things that, misconceptions that people might have about the whole thing as a whole. So let's get right into it.
Definitely.
Oh, wait. And the reason we're talking about this and how it pertains to the podcast is, y'all have seen the episodes we had in the past. It's about generational health and self-love and, healing from childhood trauma. But part of that is your mental state and your well-being. So we like to talk about topics like these because your health pertains to how your mental is. So we like to hit stuff like this and just talk about these myths so people don't stray away from eating healthier because they have these different misconceptions.
Definitely.
So now, I think we should get into like one of the biggest ones kind of first, and that is protein. People always think that when you become vegan, like your protein options are very slim, or you can't really get no protein as a vegan, and I think that people forget about the fact that the animals that they usually eat aren't eating meat in the first place. So it wouldn't be hard to get your protein from something that isn't meat if all the animals you eat aren't even eating meat in the first place either. Sometimes I get confused how people don't realize that sometimes, but it's cool. But another one that people always think when you become vegan is you can't build muscle or get big as a vegan, and that I can see why people would think that, because usually when most people become vegan, they slim down first. When they first become vegan, and a lot of times it's only people watching from the outside, and they don't really see what's going on the inside. But we're gonna get into how these are myths and our personal experience after we get through all the myths that we want to hit real quick. And the last one, let me see. I think the last one was that it was either
It's expensive.
Oh yeah, it was too expensive. People think that it's too expensive, and it's really when it comes to being vegan and being a story, you really got to put your time into it, being strategic when you get in the store and just making sure you get the right products, and some things you can get in like bulk or just like as a get something that has more quantity, and then make meals out of it. You really being vegan and keeping it low budget is mainly about being able to cook certain stuff and being able to prep and things of that nature, and being okay with having to eat, or being okay with eating certain things again and again. I would say again and again if you're one of those people who's trying to build muscle or stick to a certain diet or regimen when you become a vegan. And I know you think it could be expensive, but like I said, we're gonna talk about all that once we get to the three. So let's go back to the first one, which was protein. You had anything you wanna talk about
with the protein? I think a lot of people don't understand how much protein a person even needs a day or a week, or how much protein that a person is supposed to try to put into their body on a daily basis. So that's another thing that people don't even understand. So they hear different people recycle this information over and over again about protein this and protein that, and not understanding that protein is a big business as well. So many different things that you hear about are big businesses. That's why you go to GNC and different places like that, and they have like shelves full of different products that have protein in them, geared to build you muscle and stuff like that. But if you look out into the wild, into the jungle, and I've been saying this for years, that you just check some of the animals out there, and like a gorilla, for instance, you can see the definition on most gorillas. They got chest, they got arms, they don't eat no meat. They strictly vegetation. So I think the best thing that you can do is do your own research, do your own homework, and don't just listen to what other people say, because they will just tell you about how they feel and not what they know. So that's a big difference in just getting information from different people that's being recycled over and over again.
Right, and I think another thing with the whole, you said that the protein was a big business type of thing.
Yeah.
A lot that comes with that is propaganda. A lot of information can be mixed and mingled. Like the people who are running the whole system behind, the protein or just other things of that nature when it comes to like food, they have a lot of money and it's easy to pay a little somebody. I feel like it's easier in their position to slide some money under the table to get people to come up with fake research or just not truthful. Like, say they get an experiment and they find that a 1% of something is true, but the other part is 99% not the case. They'll be able to take that 1% and sell it to the people as this is that and that, and it's just a lot of propaganda going on. But another thing I want to say with the protein is, if you are thinking about going vegan and you want to transform a couple substitutes, you got rice, quinoa, you got the beans, you got the mushrooms, a couple things,
Yeah, you got chickpeas, you got so many different things that you could, for protein and for muscle. Different fruits have protein in them as well. So if you're trying to maintain or even gain muscle, you got avocados, you got quinoa, you got black rice, you got wild rice. So you got different mushrooms as well. So
a lot of different mushrooms.
Yeah, so do your homework. Like I say, do your own homework. And for me, I've been vegan since 2009. For the most part, I was my test dummy. I tried out different food, different products on myself, and I knew how they work. Not because such and such said so, because I used these different methods on my own for myself. So that's another thing that you can do. Things that are safe for you, that you're not allergic to. Try these different products out for yourself, on yourself, and you can see over a period of time how these things work for you.
And that kind of leads us into the next one, which was you can't build muscle or get big as a vegan. And two things to that is, like I was saying in it before, when you go in the stores, you got to make sure you're getting the right stuff, and you can't just be getting random stuff. And then when that run out, you think that, oh dang, that running so fast, because you're not prepping what you need on a daily basis. You should be doing a caloric deficit to see what exactly is going in and out of your body, whether it's energy or whether it's the food that you're eating, so you can see it. You need to see it. And then when you go in the stores, get you before you even go in the store, write down a little meal plan that you want to do, and then when you go in the store, check it off. Each thing you get in, like whether it's some quinoa, some rice, or some beans, or even like some burritos, so the stuff you need to make burritos. I know I've done that before. And then make sure you find a day out the week or whatnot, and just start prepping it or cook it up. Or I know everybody know how to cook, and that might be one of the hardest parts, because if you don't know how to cook as a vegan and you don't know nobody else who know how to cook, then it could be a little harder. But you just gonna have to learn, because if you really want whatever you striving to get, you gonna work for it, whatever that means to you. Whatever that is to you, working for it or trying hard. Take it as you will. But like I said, for the build muscle, just gotta be intentional.
Definitely. And as far as cooking and prepping, if you don't know how, if you cook now and you're not vegan, it was a time that you couldn't cook what you're cooking now. So for me, it's really no excuses, because you weren't born into this world knowing how to cook. Somebody taught you how to cook over a period of time, and you learn different skills along the way. No different than being vegan. You can teach, someone can help you, you can teach yourself, you can just start off small. So if you really want to make a lifestyle change, then you'll take the necessary steps that it takes to become plant-based or vegan. Just really believing in yourself and the things that you can do moving forward on that journey, because once you conquer certain things as you go day to day learning, you will be happy and satisfied with overcoming certain fears and doubts that you might have had within yourself. So don't be afraid to try new things. Don't be afraid to cook. You might mess up sometimes. I've messed up several times, and I've I didn't let that stop me from continuing my path. Like I said, I've been vegan, plant-based since 2009, and we're going into 2025. So I'm just trying to encourage anyone out there that's trying to make a lifestyle change. Please don't be afraid. Don't let things stop you from making that switch if that's something that you want to do. Not trying to talk you into it, but if you are someone who's kind of leaning to that direction, don't be afraid to take the necessary steps. I guarantee you will be satisfied.
Absolutely. And let's get into our last one, which is it's too expensive. And now, to me, I feel like it depends on what, because it's not too expensive, but if you're a type of person that's always getting fast food, and you think that that's just a regular amount of money you should spend on like what you eat and all that, then that's just not the case. But if we talking like grocery store, if you getting what you need and that's it, and being specific about what you trying to get out the store, then it's not gonna be super too expensive. It'd be the exact amount it would be if you was eating a regular diet, or maybe even sometimes less, depending on what you're trying to make. But the thing about making it affordable is picking the right places where you go. You can find same things at different places for lower prices. Like, you wouldn't go, like for me personally, what I've seen and experienced is I wouldn't go to Publix to go buy like fruits and vegetables, because their stuff is really high. It's better places like maybe I know Kroger is a little lower, even though it's like kind of close, but hey, it's a little lower than Publix and whatnot. But sometimes I get like things I get from the freezer from Publix because they got buy one get one free all the time. A lot of the deals they have is either like that or like buy one get one 50% off, something like that. So just look into the best places to get what you're looking for, because the prices vary. And they be, some of these stores be trying to finesse. I'm gonna even put the video in there. I seen a video, I was in Kroger and they had potatoes on sale for $5.99. I said, that still seem expensive. I moved this on sale sign, and right underneath it was the same price as it was on a regular day. It was a white and then the yellow one. I'm gonna show y'all the video, but it was the same price. They trying to finesse, but I see it.
And another thing that you can do is stop eating so much. You know, a lot of times food can get expensive because you're eating too many times a day. Sometimes go on a fast, go 48 days without no food, go 24 hours without no food, and I guarantee you your body will show you its appreciation, because it won't be working so hard to digest food if it's been a 24-hour window or 48-hour window. So those are different things. You might be like, what, 24 hours, 48 hours with no eating? Yeah, 48 hours, sometimes 72, just depending. But this is something that you do, I would suggest that you do once you become kind of stable in that lifestyle. This ain't nothing to do as a beginner, unless you just have that courage and the strength to do so. So that's another way to bring down your price, your cost is food, and also learning how to, because if you think about it, most people eat the same things every few days. People that's not vegan, people that's eat what we grew up eating, they eat the same things every day. Chicken, fish, some type of hamburger or beef or something like they recycle. It's all the time.
Chicken, fish, burger.
If they eat out, they eating chicken, they eating fish. It's the same stuff. They eat at home, they cook at home. You eating the same thing. So when you come to a plant-based vegan lifestyle, people are like, what am I gonna eat? Well, you've been eating the same thing all your life. No matter how old you are, 20, 30, 40, 50, been eating the same things, recycling. So I feel like becoming plant-based vegan, you have more of a variety of different foods to eat. You got so many different exotic fruits that we never heard of, because those things are not advertised in our local grocery stores and things of that nature. So you have so many different foods, and then you can also, like for like even right now, what's today's? I've been eating the same thing for like 2 or 3 days. The same exact thing. It was a couple different dishes, side dishes that we made like 2 or 3 days ago. Been eating those same things for the last couple days, the same exact meal. So those are some things that'll leave your leave your costs real low as far as when you go to the grocery store. It can be expensive if you're grabbing a lot of things that are processed vegan foods. Those things are more expensive than your natural vegan plant-based food. So you got to know how to shop, you got to learn how to cook, and you got to prepare your meals and give yourself time. And meal prep is a big thing too. So I suggest those things in order to cut your costs down at the grocery store.
All right, yeah, and one more thing before you get into your three things that is like you were saying about the not eating every day. It's the one big example of how we've been propagandized is the fact that they think that we should be eating 3 times a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, or even dessert. Like, no, that is not the case. Most of the time, I don't even need. I could eat either once a day or just eat. What I eat is very slim to like, and I'll be straight. Like, you don't have to eat that much at all whatsoever. But we've been programmed to think that we're supposed to eat this, and this. And after so long or after so much time has gone past, it can make it harder for you to get out of doing that on a consistent basis because you've been programmed. But when you start to realize and start eating less and less and less, you start to realize you don't need to be eating that much every single day. It's not a necessity at all, and it doesn't even help unless you are trying to grow and get bigger as like in the gym or something like that, or whatever you might need to get big, whatever you might need to do to get big or whatnot. So that's just one big example for y'all to look at when you to see how we've been programmed or propagandized in the world.
Definitely. Another thing that you also hear from a lot of people is the food is nasty. A lot of people say that because of their own imagination, that something that they just pre-exist within themselves. Some they haven't, right? They never had experience, or if they have experience, it was one thing. It's different food that when I wasn't vegan, I didn't like every option that I had. There's some foods that I just didn't like, and it'll be the same thing if you decide to become vegan or plant-based. You will have different foods that you won't like, but for the most part, there are so many different foods that you will enjoy, especially on who's cooking it. And that's with anything that you eat. It all depends on who's cooking it, how do they season it, if they even season it, because a lot of people think you only eat lettuce and fries as a vegan. You know, those are some of the things that people say, oh, you gonna eat lettuce and fries, you know, and they make jokes, which is cool, it's no big deal, but there's so many different things that you can eat if you only gain the knowledge and the understanding, and then you can just prepare different meals and just try out different things for yourself. It's like I got a macaroni and cheese that I cook that I love, that I season it to the T, I bake it, I put cheese over the top of it, and it's just really all about the seasoning. You really have to have the right seasoning to whatever it is that you're cooking. And then you have so many different fruits that are sweet, that taste good, that you really would love. So it's so many different. You can juice. Juicing is like, not only does it taste good, but it's a fun thing to do as well. So you have so many different options, so many different foods that you can eat, but you just have to try these things out on your own. You got so many different restaurants now that you can go to. Some you may like, some you may not like, but take your time, do some reading, do some research, and you can figure out some things that are going to be good to your taste buds.
Yeah, a lot of times people go to places that might not necessarily always sell vegan options, and then they ask for something that they just might have that is vegan, and then they can make an assumption off of what they get, and a lot of times it's not that good. But what I've noticed is going out, a lot of things that I eat out when I cook at home is way better than the stuff I'm eating out, unless I'm going to a specifically vegan place. When a specifically vegan place. When I go to a vegan spot now, they be doing it nice. I can't even lie. And it when I go to these different places, it makes me realize how vast the different things you could be eating as a vegan is. Like, it's what I try to tell people is a vegan version of everything that you eating regular. Like anything you could think, there's a vegan version of it. And to end this off, I also want y'all to give us some questions that y'all have about either what y'all going through in either becoming vegetarian or even trying to go vegan, or anything questions y'all have about for us about how we did it, or how our lifestyles is, or protein, or trying to get big and all this other stuff. Just let us know, give us a comment or whatnot, and we'll try to get back with y'all.
Definitely. So please like, share, subscribe, and leave comments and leave questions, and we definitely will get back with you and answer any questions you may have. If you somebody that's on the fence, somebody who's struggling to try being a vegan, or not even just being a vegan, but just trying different vegan foods, let us know where you're at. We can suggest some places in your area, some restaurants that you might feel comfortable going to and just trying out the food for your very first time. So let us know where you checking in from. If you could be in the Atlanta, Georgia area, you might be somewhere close, you might be no matter where you're at, let us know where you're at, let us know your questions, and we definitely will get back with you. Don't be afraid to take that next step if you somebody who's really looking forward to a change. And the biggest thing that I want to mention is your health. With all the different, because we like food and we like the taste of food, but our health and maintaining your health should be your number one priority. So don't just do it for the taste. Sometimes you just got to do it for the maintaining your health and keeping you out of these hospitals and off these different medications that's going to end your life a little shorter than if you was doing something to preserve your life and your quality of life.
We out.
We out. Peace.